Let's check out Tom Sigura. We had Tom Sigura. Now, he's been getting it up the ass from his listeners for the last year or so about being too rich. Remember this? Look what he does. We'll watch a little of this. Tom Sigura goes watch shopping. Uh-oh.
Oh, really, dude?
You got to see this. I'll play it from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Tom Sigura, look at this. He goes to this high-end store. He's looking at Omegas. He's looking at... Now, I know a lot of you are into watches right now, too. What did I tell you? Get rid of that rock. Trust me on this. Get an Ara. Get a Bible watch. But get rid of your rock. These Grand Seikos. Oh, I can't stand them. These Omegas. Oh, boy. And especially the godfather of all crap, the Rolex. Yucky. Here's Tom Sigura doing what he does best, being a snob.
Most of my trips, I schedule diving around, so that's what
You're going to love
Does
this.
he dive?
No, I've never done.
Okay. And I guarantee some of the French speakers, they cringe every time I try.
They cringe when you do anything. They're French.
John, can you get me a snowflake?
Is that code for cocaine?
That is, no, that is not code for, that is the name of the watch.
Oh, wow.
You can see that red dial.
Dude.
That Grand Seiko,
dial's
huh?
Incredible.
That's incredible.
I like cool. Get me cool stuff.
Which they call a balance cock. Going to. So you guys know I love helping people out with their watch collection. And today we have a honor to help out world-renowned comedian, Tom Segura.
Hey.
Tom, thanks for stopping in, man.
Oh, yeah.
Really nice to meet you.
You're looking beautiful.
Place, man.
Thank you. Just opened in February. Longtime fan. So you're into watches.
Yes,
You're into watches.
yes.
I've noticed a lot of comedians into watches, but you're probably somebody that stands out the most.
Really?
With wearing really cool stuff too. Not the
thank you.
Really
conventional
cool.
pieces, like not to put down any like the standard high pieces, but even what you have on your wrist today, you were showing me.
Yeah, this was one of the ones that, because I was gonna show you some stuff that I like watches. I like all watches, but
He likes them
Why
all.
don't you get into this in
with
general?
stories.
Yeah.
You know, watches. How I got
Me
into
too.
it, I think even as a kid, I wore watches, regularly. I had a Seiko, but I
Oh, he had a Seiko. Because now Grand Seiko is popular. So, he had a Seiko, of course. Oh, that makes... As a kid, he loved watches. I never had the money for a watch as a kid. If we wanted to know the time, we had to ask the teacher, and they'd point to the damn wall. That was our watch. So he grew up rich, obviously, if he had all these watches as a kid, these Seikos. I remember I would go to Kmart. Okay, did you have Kmart where you grew up, Jules? This was a beautiful store.
No, we did not.
They'd have in the women's clothing section. It's similar to Target. Target, I think, still has this, right? Where in the middle of, by the women's clothing section, they have a small jewelry counter. Do they still have that at Targets? They used to have that as all these stores. You'd go, there'd be a small jewelry counter, and there'd be stacks and stacks of these watches in these little cardboard boxes. Timex. You'd have all these cool watches. We could never afford. They were like $30. Not Tom. Tom grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth, of course. His dad, of course, the creator of Milton Bradley. Yeah, so a lot of money. He had a lot of money. He was, I think, a lawyer for Milton Bradley or a big stock trader at Milton Bradley, that big stock company from the World Trade Center. And here he is. And you're going, is he going to be funny? Is he going to lend himself as a comedian to be funny? Or is he just going to talk about some watches? Let's just take a look, and then I'm going to debut my newest rock. And yes, it's Pueblo style, and it goes with this outfit perfectly. Wait, coming up.
Into it, and I guess, saw timepieces. You go, I'd like to
Timepieces.
get that one day. And then some of them.
Look at this guy.
have been
Look
able
what
to.
he has become.
But
The
this one in
candles.
particular,
There's two candles
was
that are
being,
out.
is being
Two
able to make it-
candles out already, right here on the set here. Now, were these...
3. There's one even 3.
Got that one back. Whoop, burn me. Don't burn me. Now, where's this third one? Oh, beans everywhere. Oh, almost. Oh, I'm burning myself. And where's this third
It's
one over
on the
here?
other side, yeah, reach farther.
Yeah, let's see.
No, in front of those ones.
Well, this
there's
one's-
4.
yeah.
There's
Oh, my
4.
God,
Oh my
so
God.
we're-
So those ones are horrible.
Wow. Okay, here we go. Relighting. Remember we said we're going to stop the show if this should happen here. So there's one more. So it's all the same brand, huh? Well, what I'm guessing is this particular brand is set on a timer no matter what. We got all different brands here. No big whoop. No big whoop, right? Let us know. If you see a candle out, let us know. There'll be big money in it for you. Look at this beautiful watch he's got here.
This is my dad passed away a couple of years ago, but when he was sick at one point, he was in the hospital and he had a bone marrow transplant. It was this huge deal, and then he got better and got out, and he lived a few more years. But at that time, I gave him this watch. It's a Jaeger LeCoultre.
Come on.
And I guarantee some.
A Jaeger LeCoultre.
Joker 2.
You gave him this watch, and why is it on your wrist now if you gave it to your dead dad? You're telling me you took that out of his casket?
It should be in the ground.
Let me get that Jaeger LeCoultre back. Wait till you hear what Tom likes about these types of watches.
Jaeger LeCoultre.
What an asshole.
And I guarantee some of the French speakers, they cringe every time I try.
They cringe when you do anything. They're French.
Oh, yeah.
But this piece, it reminds me of him because I gifted this to him.
Master Control, man, that's beautiful.
Well, then
watch.
no
Yeah,
duh,
it's a
it
really
reminds
cool
you of
watch, and it
him.
was to me. It's also, I try to when I've gifted watches before.
Yeah.
I try to gift a watch that I think the person would like. In other words, when I went into this boutique that day, I saw
As
ones I was like, oh,
opposed
I
to-
like that. But then I go, yeah, but that was not for him, and he loved this piece.
He's wearing, he's dressed like Hillary Clinton. With this long
this
coat. Is this a Jaeger LeCoultre?
So, yeah.
So, in general, today, you're in town for your come together tour.
Yes.
And you're looking for
You got to
a
hear what he
watch,
says
right?
about these
Yes.
watches.
So what are we looking for? What are you trying to find with this new piece?
So I'll say that like most of the time I don't gravitate towards leather bands.
Wow,
As
listen.
of recent, really have started to enjoy fabric bands, like different fabrics.
Okay.
I would say most watches I have
Most watches.
are metal bracelets, you know.
Most watches he has are metal bracelets. Yucky. So that really shows the kind of person he is. He don't like a leather band. He don't like understated. He wants everyone to see that rock from a mile away. Isn't that something? That's a real tell if a guy doesn't like a leather band on his $41,000 watch. That's a bad man. Listen to this. He's going to tell you what he does on tour here.
So, and I do enjoy that. I like weight and heft,
heft.
to that, but I mean, I'm open to an
Of
experience.
course.
This is the fun thing for me about being with somebody like you is that you know so much more than me that it's fun to get the education.
As
So
he
I like
should,
that
the
part of it.
watchmaker.
So, do you want to look at Grand Seiko? I mean, as someone from great Japanese descent, I figured you'd want to.
I am a very.
You're 100% Japanese, aren't you?
100% Japanese. A lot of people don't do that.
I didn't know that.
And here's the thing that I was so excited you carry them is that if you like watches, you can't help but hear about how much people love Grand Seiko and this aspect of this company and how much they put into it. And I've never.
I'll
owned
tell you,
one.
I got a couple of these Grand Seikos. They look like $20 pieces of shit. They look like nothing. There's no appeal. There's no glamour to them. I got them stuffed in the back of a drawer, getting scratched up.
So I would love to see them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first time.
Every watch I have, it doesn't even tell time because I don't wear them to move the movement thing to make it wind. All my watches are dead. They're in the back of junk drawers. They're cracked. They're smushed.
Introduction to Grand Seiko. So 1960, Japanese watchmaking. What's interesting about Japanese watchmaking compared to Swiss watchmaking is that
Okay, wait. I want to go to this one part here.
Yeah.
the
Come on,
frequency,
Tommy.
the-
Stop it. We don't care about this.
I like it.
So this model, this is a high beat version. This is known as the SBGH 295, and John is our boutique manager. He might help us out, but this is his daily that
Really?
he wears. Yes. John is always wearing this daily. So this is
Really?
a watch. It's using 5 hertz movement, which means 36,000
Unbelievable. Oh,
vibrations
the
per hour.
5 hertz
Yeah, really
movement.
clean
Oh,
sweep on the
that's
second
what I'm
hand,
really
40
into.
millimeter case. And then look at that dial.
And I love that these guys trick themselves into thinking it's all about the movement and the craftsmanship. By the way, all the craftsmanship is on the back of the watch where your wrist touches. You can't see it. If you cared about the craftsmanship, you'd flip the watch over so you could see the gears. But no, they want to see, oh, this beautiful, isn't this a beautiful face? Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, it's so gorgeous. What is this? Some crappy blue material?
Take a look at that.
Unbelievable.
I'll have that down for you over here.
That dial is stunning.
Stunning. Listen to him. Listen to him
They
speak.
call this their 62 GS case.
Stunning.
It's based off of a 1967 design. It doesn't have a bezel, so you just look at how it's just opening up at that dial.
Stunning.
A couple of things I'll call attention to is how they finish their cases. Something you might hear
You said
with
you wanted
Grand
to part where he
Seiko
talks
is
about his tour.
Zuratsu.
Yeah,
He
that
said to
part.
910.
910.
I think.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Listen to this. You got to hear what he does while he's out on tour. It's unreal.
Before we leave.
Jesus, man, making this tough. No, let's just
Okay, let's keep moving.
let's keep moving. Okay.
All right. So what do you know about Glashütte?
Well, what I know about Glashütte is that it's a town in Germany.
Listen to this.
specializes in watches.
That's actually right. That's very correct.
I remember being there and because when I was
So you
in-
visited Glashütte?
I didn't visit Glashütte, but I remember being in Germany
Mm-hmm.
and on this European tour. Basically, in every city we just stopped and bought watches.
In every city on the tour, during his tour, they stopped and bought watches.
European tour, basically in every city we just
Wait. Who did he
stopped
tour
and
with?
bought.
Yeah, that'd be
Because
interesting.
Did his openers get to buy a watch?
Did they
or
all
just
buy a watch, or
you
they
buy a
watch you buy watches? I can't imagine his openers having the money to buy a watch in every city in Europe.
Watches, or at least research them. So it was that was like a year and a half ago, and so learning about them, about Nomos, and about just what happened.
those were
in the
gorgeous.
city.
Yes.
So that was the experience.
No
So
homos.
you know some of the backstory. This was a town that started back in 1845
Burn it!
as the center for watchmaking in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a small town, 8,000 people, but
Nazi
today
town.
there's over 10 brands that call it home, and some of the best brands in the world, and it's a small, sleepy town, that's it.
Yeah.
And during World War II, I mean, it was completely destroyed. All the
of
watchmaking
course,
went away.
Yeah.
What happened at that time was there was no watchmaking basically left.
He just showed a black and white picture to show how it was. It's not completely destroyed. That was just a black and white photo. It's completely destroyed.
All the watchmaking went away.
See?
What happened at that time was
fine.
the watchmaking basically left.
Yes.
And then there was a consolidation of the industry in that area,
Yes.
where it was known as the GUB, was what the name. And it's a long German name. Don't ask me to say it because
Sure.
you know how the Germans do it. It's just very, very long.
Yeah.
But that was all that remained. So it was all the old parts. It was some of the manufacturing process. And after the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, you then saw the rebirth of this entire region. This was Rolanga came back 1994.
gorgeous.
Nomos 1990.
Oh, that's a beauty.
We also have Glashütte Regenau. Glashütte Regenau is the extension of that consolidation
Yes.
of
This
the
video is
GUB,
so long.
and
Was
now
he there
being
for like
in
7
Washington.
hours?
He loves it. And
listening
again,
to this
not
guy?
contributing anything funny, not saying a lick, just shopping for watches. You got enough watches, bozo.